Friedrich Schiller, the Pilgrim. Still in the springtime of my living was I, and I went to Rome. And the youthful joyous dancing left I in my father's home. All my inheritance, my having left I trustingly behind, and on pilgrim staff alighting, went I forth with childlike mind. For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Wander forth, the way runs freely, always on the rising path, till unto a golden portal thou dost come. Then enter thee, for the earthly things will there all heavenly and deathless be. Evening came, becoming morning. Never, never stood I still, but it's always kept in hiding what I seek for, what I will. Mountains lay before my pathway, torrents had my every stride. Over gulfs built I a pathway, gangway, bridges o'er the rapid tide. And unto a stream's embankments came I, which flows toward the east. Gladly trusting to its currents, cast myself upon its breast. Hence to an unbounded ocean, playful billows neath me roll. For me lies a vast expansion, near I'm not to the goal. Ah, no pathway will lead yonder. Ah, o'er me the heaven sphere, where the earthly never border, and the there is never here.
Very good. What I would like for you to do is take a little more time, especially when you have things like alliteration of different thoughts that are together. You can take a little time and even change the pace a bit with the thought that you may have. Maybe one thought is a little bit more dramatic than the other. Give yourself the leeway to do it that way, and then to go back to the mood of something else that you're going to do different.
I have the work. Yeah, I have the words here.
And then you do it again for me.
Sure.
And then I will
bad
give you
copy.
this. Okay. All right, now you just say it again, and I'm going to look at this as you're saying it.
Okay.
And then
Should I do the whole thing like the introduction of the Pilgrim?
Yeah.
Okay. Friedrich Schiller, the Pilgrim. Still in the springtime of my living was I, and I began to roam. And the youthful joyous dancing left I in my father's home. All my inheritance, my having threw I trustingly behind, and on pilgrim staff alighting went I forth with childlike mind. For a mighty
Okay, now, still in the springtime of my living was I, and I went to Rome, and the youthful joyous dancing led I to my father. Make words, youthful joyous dancing. Now, youthful joyous dancing, don't go to youthful joyous dancing. Combine little things like that to make it more, not, I don't want to say dramatic, but to make it more alive. Yeah. Do it once more.
Still in the springtime of my living was I, and I began to roam. And the youthful joyous dancing left I in my father's home. All my inheritance, my having threw I trustingly behind, and on pilgrim staff alighting went I forth with childlike mind.
Good, go ahead.
For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Wander forth, the way runs freely, always on the rising path.
Okay, now, why don't you do that as a quote? For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darkness word of faith. Wander forth, the way runs freely, always to the rising path. See, that is what it's telling you to do, and it's like you're quoting it. Yeah.
All right.
Do that once more. For a mighty hoping drove me.
For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Wonderful.
Now, this is the kind of thing I meant. And so change that. And a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Keep that all up. Don't say drove me, and faith. To keep it up. That they're all up high. For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Wander forth the way more runs freely. That's see what I'm doing? I'm changing mood and making drama of it. Yeah.
Doctor, do you hear how your pitches went up?
Oh yes, of course. I mean, use the full gamma of your speaking. You make, for instance, for a mighty hoping drove me in a darksome. Wander forth the way runs freely, always on the rising path. Your rising path. Till into a golden portal thou dost come, then enter there. See what happens? You're describing what you're saying rather than just saying the word. Start it again from for a mighty hoping drove me.
For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Wander forth, the way runs freely, always on the rising path. Till unto a golden portal thou dost come, then enter thee. For the
earthly things.
For the earthly things will there all heavenly and deathless be. I still didn't do that.
You understand when they are putting expression in for the first time, it knocks the words out of the
Oh yeah. That's true.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not. That's why.
Because you concentrate to try to put
think through and know exactly what you're thinking before you even try to speak it, and then out of that will come what you have to add to it, and that is the creativity of performing. We are creative. We have to be creative in performing as much as the composer or the poet had to be creative in writing it. Because you're going to speak his words, and you have to have the conception of what you think those words mean to you. It may not have been the same to Schiller. I mean, but he might have heard it and say, hey, I like that. That's good. It might be reflecting, but it's reflecting your interpretation of his words. Okay, do that again and go on. With just that in mind.
Can he overdo some?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You can always overdo it and have somebody listen to you. And if you do, they will tell you, well, I think that's a little too much.
That's a little too handy.
Or a little you could do more.
Give us hand first.
It's like a student of mine. He was doing the Zweigman. And he was singing, I still teach der Freiheit sehr hoch den Namen. You can't go wave the hand. So it can be overdone too. Okay, go on from there where, never mind, what does it bring? Becoming morning, for that line, the beginning where it becomes morning.
Okay. Evening came, becoming morning. Never stood I still, but it's always kept in hiding what I seek for, what I will.
Now, stop there. Don't run it together, but it always comes in hiding what I seek for, what I will. Give space. Give what I seek for, what I will.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
What I seek for, what I will. Yeah. Give a little what you're looking for and what you want. So that kind of, go ahead, do that line again and go on.
Okay.
Never stood I still. That's good.
Never stood I still, but it's always kept in hiding what I seek for, what I will. Mountains lay before my pathway, torrents have my every stride. Over gulfs built I a gangway, bridges o'er the rapid tide.
Now, make those very important.
Yeah, I know.
Mountains lay before my pathway, torrents hem my every stride. Over gulfs I built a gangway, bridges over the rapid tide. Make something of each of those lines. These are the things you're alliterating as to what
I wasn't sure whether I should try to speed it up there or go it slower.
No, not speed it up.
I've done it both ways.
And make it one on top of the other. One on top of the other. Go on with from the mountains, yeah.
Torrents, okay.
Mountains lay before my pathway, torrents hymn my every stride. Over gulfs I built a gangway, bridges o'er the rapid tide. And into a stream's embankments came I, which flowed toward the east. That's what came of all these things, all right? Okay, do it again now, I'm gone.
Mountains lay before my pathway, torrents hem my every stride. Over gulfs built I a gangway, bridges o'er the rapid tide. And into a stream's embankments came I, which flows toward the east. Gladly trusting to its currents, cast myself upon its breast. Hence to an unbounded ocean, playful billows 'neath me roll. For me lies a vast expansion, nearer I'm not to the goal. Ah, no pathway will lead yonder. Ah, o'er me the heaven sphere, where the earthly never border, and the there is never here.
Good, good. Does that help a little?
Oh, yeah.
It gives you a little insight into...
Should he stand still while he sings, speaks? Can he very expressively
yes, you
move
can.
once in a while?
But the point is, if it's a natural reaction out of something that you're doing, and your hands or your body moves, that's one thing. But don't think through and say, now on this line I'm going to...
Yeah, you can't.
On that line I'm going to do this. It has to come out of you might want to raise when you live in storms, maybe oceans. Yeah, things like that. Whatever your body wants to do, don't feel you just have to stand there and do it like that. So you have the freedom of doing that too. Yeah.
Okay.
I have noticed every time he started, he gets himself together, which is good, but he doesn't consider himself ready until he has the left foot.
I was thinking about that. I didn't want it that way, but this didn't change.
So you've got to practice it with both of them, and the right getting it, and that your eyes don't immediately go down while you try to recall the text, because this is talking about mountains and waves, and you're not supposed to talk about mountains down here. Got it? So it takes...
Also, people, I'm a great one for wanting to make myself move when I'm doing something, and then see out of that movement whether it's something that helps you in projecting what you want to say, whether you're reciting a poem or whether you're singing, or whether you're just doing a role or something. If you make your body move and just let it do what it wants to do, then out of that will come the most natural thing when you actually perform it. So get your paper and run and say, to be or not to be, that's the question. Whether it's nobler in the mind to do this or what no, that's right. and just pull it down to physically moving, and you'd be amazed at what will come out for you when you stand still and do it then, because it has a movement of the body inside of what you're saying, even though you're not moving. But one way to get that is to practice it moving, yeah.
Sir, would you let him start it again and have it 2 or 3 keys higher? He has done da-da-da-da-da. Could he start dee-dee maybe and immediately drop? But you're doing it for us like you memorized it up in your attic room.
It's
you
true.
Understand? All right, so that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. But now it's beyond that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what are the first lines? Because I never got them.
You never got them?
No, because
Did I do it too fast?
Words, and then the rest of them.
So I should slow it down?
Please start the first 2 lines and give us much more vigor, because isn't it vigorous? Is it vigorous?
No.
Even though you're talking about, what are you talking? Tell me.
But you're going out.
Don't look at me at all.
You're going
look
out.
These people.
You're young and you're going out into the world.
Yelling?
No.
I thought you said yelling.
No. Young.
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 Young? Oh, young. All right, act young. You thought you were, didn't you? See, now he's getting himself already. This is bad. Go out here, and when you're ready to come, you can even come on saying it.
All right.
You understand? All right, come on, right away.
Still in the springtime of my living was I, and I began to roam. And the youthful joyous dancing left I in my father's home. All my inheritance, my having through I trustingly behind, and on Pilgrim's staff alighting, went I forth with childlike mind. For a mighty hoping drove me, and a darksome word of faith. Wander forth, the way runs freely, always on the rising path, till unto a golden portal thou dost come. Then enter thee, for the earthly things will there all heavenly and deathless be. Evening came, becoming morning. Never, never stood I still, but it's always kept in hiding what I seek for, what I will. Mountains stood, torrents.
Yes, that's because you were thinking expression.
Yeah.
It does knock the text out. I found this. So you have to really get it down, and then have a friend, a girlfriend, a mama, somebody who will sit there who knows nothing about poetry to see if you're making sense.
That'll help.
Maya Angelou said, work very diligently on whatever you're doing, and if you're working on the British highest kind of formal speech, work to get it. And you know she did. But she said, once you go and do our music on the low socioeconomic level, you invoke, I don't know why she did this, you invoke Aunt Hattie to get the expression out if you're doing a spiritual. Or if you're even doing something like this and it's in a foreign tongue. If she's sitting there pulling for you and getting nothing, it means you didn't put it across. You must, she says, invoke for the folk music, that's for you all and for us, Aunt Hattie. And what is it, Mammy Yoakum and Pappy Yoakum and all these people, they don't know anything. And you must make them believe it. And they will tell you, honey, I don't get that. You know, she said, get somebody from your ancestry way back there who never could read a word, could not write their own names, could not know anything, but they know expression. And if you are pleasing Aunt Hattie, that means you are getting to the crux of the thought of what you're doing. She was so great. That was great.
Thank you.